G-L-O-N-N.
Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
Bitch, I'm from Memphis. What you know about me? That G-L-O in that G-L-E. Either one of you fellas have a time machine? Because I'd like to rewind to last week.
Stop it.
You know, when we came off of a fun Maui week, we beat the brakes off of Tulane. We were ranked. We had what we thought would be 2 bye games coming up. Oh no, we suck again. Yesterday was one of the worst Sundays ever.
Oh no! We suck again! Oh,
you did one job, Kenny.
We suck again!
It didn't even hit it on time.
Oh no! We suck again!
Welcome to episode 105, where the hardwood takes suck again. We're coming fresh off of a 1-1 week where we didn't look very good against La Tech, but they found a way to win. Almost covered, should have covered. Kenny, relax. And then got run off your own home floor as a 12-point favorite on Sunday.
It was rough.
Against an Arkansas State, let's get this out. You want my full overblown overreaction right now, or do you want the
Let's hear it.
The end of the world? Which one would you prefer?
All of it.
Let's do that. Let's get your full overblown reaction right now.
Overblown reaction, overreaction is that I'm tired of this shit. It's year 7. It's the same stuff every year. This is the start of our yearly losing streak. We're about to lose 6 in a row. Started yesterday with Arkansas State getting run off your own home floor. You're going to go to Clemson. You're going to lose. You're going to lose at Virginia. You'll probably play well, but Mississippi State and Ole Miss will squeak one out against you. And then you're probably going to lose at FAU, your first conference game of the year. You might turn around and then lose at North Texas to start the AAC play at 0-2.
Wow.
That was dark.
I was sorry. This seems
Speaking
appropriate.
of dark,
Oh no!
New
We suck again! Oh no! We suck again!
We tried to jump right into it, TJ. We didn't even tell the people
I know.
what we're sipping on this evening. I just brought you my soul because sports are stupid and I'm over it.
This is still boggles my mind that I cannot get this to not be backwards. But this is Bring Your Soul, a dark IPA from Crosstown. And it's dark. I'm going to let you know.
Friends at Crosstown.
It is dark.
Oh, it is dark, just like my heart.
Give the people a little view what we're working with here. Yeah, so Trey is a little depressed right now. I don't know if you caught on to that based off the little monologue he just went into. Not a great start for the show there, Trey.
I don't know what to tell you. That was my full overreaction. 85-72 to an Arkansas State Red Wolves team who is off back-to-back losses to Hofstra and AAC powerhouse Rice. You had a minion named Pinion, white kid from Morrilton, Arkansas, who averages 7 points a game.
I didn't know they had shooters like that in Morrilton. I spent a lot of time in Morrilton.
Did you?
My favorite camping spot in all of the world is a place called Petty Jean State Park, and that is in Morrilton, Arkansas. And it is beautiful over there. I did not know they had hoopers. I thought they had meth and mountains.
Well, I'm not trying to disparage the young man, but he may check one of those boxes.
And it's not the mountains. Wow. My man went 5 of 11 from 3-point range. We just continued to leave them wide open. 22 points, 8 boards, 3 blocks, and a steal.
Yeah.
My dude barely had 3 blocks combined through his first 8 games. He had 3 yesterday against us.
This is like the basketball version of the Charlotte running back that we played last year.
That's exactly.
No, this guy had actually played a collegiate basketball
He's-
game before.
He just won the Naismith off of that one freaking
That
game.
one game, man.
Don't get too caught up on Pinion though, because they had another dude that averages
Sure.
1.5 points a game. DeAndre, I guess it's DeAndre
Dominguez. Yeah.
He's tripled his point average after last night's performance against us. Was averaging 1 point a game. He's now averaging 4. He had 19 in 17 minutes. Shot 71% from the floor, 100% from the free throw line. 3 of 3 from 3-point land.
Yeah, the coach talked about him, Coach Hoxson, I think is his name, Hoxson. Sorry, I had to cough. He was in the media room afterwards, and he said that apparently that Dominguez kid had he came back, he was going to transfer, decided not to, because he had a terrible season last year. Then he was according to him, dominating the preseason, and then he had a nasty concussion that kept him out for the entire first part of the year. And so this is like only just a few games that he's played this year, and he looked awesome. It was crazy.
I don't know why you're laughing. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So let's do
This is
this.
a game where you had 2 leads the entire evening. You only had 1 lead.
You had 1 lead. They led for 38 seconds of that game.
You led 4-3.
Yeah.
It's gracious. Arkansas State, he's a Nate Oates family tree, isn't he?
Yeah.
This
Yep.
Hodgkin, I don't like him at all. I'm just gonna be straight up the way that he was acting on the sideline, asking our fans where they were going as they were leaving with 4 minutes left, trying to hype up the Red
I
Wolf
like that.
faithful. I bet you like it. He's a
He's
trash
got the
ball,
juice, dude.
and he's a perfect fit for Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Yeah, he was definitely feeling himself on the sideline the entire game. It was pretty wild. Pretty wild.
As you would. This is a 16th ranked team in the nation, and you're winning. You were a double-digit underdog, and you're winning.
I'm not giving him any hate for it. He was just feeling himself.
Well, Trey was. I
am.
I think good.
It's
I think
embarrassing.
it's perfectly fine. Hey, if you don't want him to do it, win the game.
I would have, but I can't do anything about it. I'm not on the floor playing uninspired, careless basketball. Arkansas State honestly they shot 36% from the field and 33 from 3, which is actually several percentage points better than what they shoot on the year. I think they shoot like 28%. They were 310th in the nation in 3-point shooting percentage. They do throw up a lot of threes. I mean, they chunk those things up. They shot 36 threes yesterday, making 12. It felt like we just kept leaving them open. Anytime we made a little bit of a run, we could cut it to like 7.
Yeah.
We'd give up an open 3, or we'd give up an offensive rebound that led to an open 3, or I mean, it's unbelievable. They got out to a little bit of a hot start, and I guess your starters were a little bit sluggish, a slow start. And we had played 9 guys, 10 guys by the first media timeout. And I think Penny's explanation was the starters started slow, so he was trying to try some things out to get some energy. But I'm like, dude, you got to stop doing that kind of stuff. Call a timeout and lay into somebody's ass or something. If you're not going to do it, let Mike Davis do it. Somebody on the staff lay into him. Putting in guys that have gotten no minutes essentially all year long in a situation where you're down in a game that's, I mean, I don't know. the whole
It
thing.
was
The
funny.
team,
What's funny is that it felt like he had stopped doing that, right? Like it felt
it
like
did. We've been
Yeah.
playing our 7-8 guys a majority of the game. That's what we did all in Maui. Even at times when people were struggling, you let them play through. Like, keep doing it. Just because it's Arkansas State doesn't mean that you treat it any differently and try some other approach to. I don't know. Hopefully they've learned from that. I mean, ride your guys, stick with your dudes, call a timeout, lay into somebody's ass, fire them up some way. But this
Yeah,
whole
this is the
nonchalant come into this thing like you're gonna just walk in and win, or you can just turn it on whenever you want and win is total BS. And Penny said it himself. Like, I don't care. In the comments, people are probably gonna hate us for it, but like, the team takes after their coach, and he himself said in the post game, never in a million years did he think they would lose that game. That mindset, follow, like, your team's following that. If you have that sort of mindset going in this game, they're going to take the same approach. Why can't we just come into every game with the mindset of wanting to beat the shit out of every team we play? Get up by 30 and then do your experimentational lineups or play people that don't play. Like, I don't know. It's so frustrating. And it was evident from the get-go yesterday. They just thought they could walk in there, they would get down, oh, we'll come back in the second half and win. And it's just not like, that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, did you feel that way? I felt that way until
What? That we would
that,
never.
that they would come back. Like that I walked in the halftime. I was like, well, they're probably going to end up winning this game, but that was a terrible first half. And then it was like 7 minutes left. You're like, oh, they're still down 15. Like nothing's changed.
I mean, I think the
You know-
only time I felt it once when we made that very, very quick 10-0 run.
Yeah.
We hit like back-to-back threes. I think Jourdain got a steal. And it felt like the intensity picked up. And I felt it a little bit when their point guard got hurt and wasn't returning. I was like, okay, well, now they may not be able to handle the ball. And that kid, who was it? The Julian kid?
The Julian
Where's
kid
it,
went
Marsh?
off. The Julian kid went off.
I mean, no, it wasn't him. Who did they? Whatever their backup point guard is, totally handled it.
Todd,
Yeah.
Tyson Todd, Tyen Todd,
Taron
Tyson-
Todd.
Taron Todd. Yeah.
Totally
Mhm.
handle it fine. I mean, no struggles at all. But no, that entire game, I never really felt like we were actually going to come back and win, to be honest.
You know, it's one of those things where when they keep turning the ball over and over and over, I get to a point where I'm like, okay, yes, you're down 15. You're not going to be able to really slow it down too much. But at some point, I think you need to kind of adjust what you're doing, because what you're doing it's not working, right? I mean, you were turning it over left and right. You couldn't get out of your own way. And it didn't seem like they had any interest in changing anything, right? It was the same thing, just go, 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 go. And I mean, I guess, what did we end up losing by? 12?
12.
13.
Was it 13, 12, 13, something like that? Like, you were never really even able to get it back. So it's like whatever you're doing doesn't even work anyway. So
Yeah, that's what I like. That's part of it too. They built that lead when you took the starters out, right? Like, they got it to 12, 15-ish early in the first half, and then it kind of stayed there the rest of the game. Like, they got it up to 18 at one point, I think, and then you would cut it down to 8. It just never, like, I don't know. It's just I don't, just stick with your 6 or 7 and stop playing around. I don't know.
I think the troubling trend, I think that is starting to pop up, and Penny talked about it after the Louisiana Tech game, plus even more so. I think more so after the Arkansas State game, he kind of questioned. It felt like he was insinuating just a level of buy-in and care, right? Like an attitude of like being, not to steal Ryan Silverfield's thing, but being all in on coming in and playing hard when you get in there. In that, after that Louisiana Tech game, he was talking about the defense and was talking about guarding your yard and, you know, not over helping and rotations back. That corner 3 has been an issue for this team all year, on defense. Like, and that's
every
the
Penny
part
team.
and that's the part that I go, okay, well then how do we fix that then? Right? Like, how do you fix that? Because the corner 3 is the easiest 3-point shot in the game. Like, it is not difficult to shoot from right there. And so, you know, that's the wide open shot in that pressure defense because it's the furthest point away from it's an easy swing pass, and if you're pressuring the ball on the opposite side of the floor, it's swing, boom, corner, and the guy that's way up top has to rotate back and try to guard that corner, and it's what got Josh Minot no minutes at Memphis, right? Like it's because he couldn't close out on that corner three, and
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you saw it against La Tech too. It's over rotating, over helping. That there's a lack of communication, but at times it's also like there was a point yesterday. I think it was Peon. It might have been the other white kid, but Jourdain and I want to say it was Dink. Were at the top of the key. He caught the ball. The Arkansas State dude caught the ball at the top of the 3-point line, and like pump faked you. It was evident he wanted to shoot the ball. And neither one of them stepped up to put a hand up. They both backed off. I think Jourdain just totally turned his back, and Dink went to the guy that was on the wing and left him open, and he drills a three. And I'm like, I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
At worst, both of you just take him and make him pass the ball. I don't like. There's just so many glaringly obvious mistakes that are being made, and it's leading to open threes. And if you give teams, especially Division I college teams, open threes, they're going to make some of them. Like, you can't just continue to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's fixable. I guess that hasn't been happening all year long. We've seen them show flashes of being able to be a very high-level defensive team. I'd say the other concerning part is offensively.
Yeah.
We had all this hype in the first 6-7 games about how well we were shooting from three, and I think we might be. I mean, we didn't shoot terribly from three yesterday. We shot 32%, 7 of 22, which isn't awful, but I mean, Tyrese was 1 of 3, 1 of 7 from the field. We're not very good from 2-point range. Shot 36% yesterday. I don't know. I don't think that start to the season from three was a little bit misleading, and we were just on a hot. That's what's concerning, I guess. I don't know. If we hadn't shot so well from three, we probably don't beat UConn or Michigan State. And
well, yeah, man, we were shooting 50% from three. Of course, we started hot, and that wasn't going to continue. What do you mean?
We could just be. I'm just saying it lasted for. I mean, what? That was the first 7 games of the season.
Sure, yeah.
Well, the guys know how to shoot. It's not that. I think it's a lot of it.
We're still technically second in the country in 3-point percentage, but
I mean, obviously Arkansas State went off and hit a bunch of threes, but the guys, the Tiger team knows how to shoot. Like, they're good shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's those slow starts that bother me, right, on offense. It's those, how do you get the team in a rhythm quickly? And for me, if I had to, you said it just a few minutes ago, Trey, and I think you're 100% right. There's a lot of things there's a lot of, as frustrating as it is to lose that Arkansas State game, you walk away from that game going, okay, there are some fixable things here, right? We can see the fixable things. And there's one thing in particular, I think, offensively, that I think would absolutely help. And I wish and I hope that we see this change soon. I think it's a mistake to bring Dane Danger off the bench. I think having Dane start, while you might give up something defensively, even though I don't think Dane has been a sieve on defense the way that folks thought that he might be. He's an effort guy. He's not as gifted at rim protection as Musa is. Theoretically, Musa is. But what Dane provides on the offensive side of the floor is light years ahead of what Musa can do. Musa's not an option. They tried 2 or 3 times at least in that Arkansas State game to pass the ball up ahead to him and for an easy dunk, and he just cannot catch the ball. He cannot catch the ball. And I think having Musa, that's one of the beautiful things about having him back here this time, is that there are no unrealistic expectations for what he can and can't do, like there were in his freshman year. He's not an offensive threat by any stretch of the imagination. What he is a good rim defender and a decent rebounder. But what Dane can do, Dane's a rhythm guy. Like you saw him as he started to get more minutes in that second half, making some plays defensively, making some plays offensively. That nasty feed to Nick
Assist.
Jourdain,
Yeah.
like the post moves in the paint. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. Offense, getting off to a fast start is all about rhythm, getting into a rhythm. And one of the perfect examples, I heard Lionel Hollins talk about this when he coached the Grizzlies. And he said, no matter what team we played, no matter who we were, the first 4 scripted plays of every game was called 1-4 low. And that was get the ball to Zach Randolph from the point guard in the paint, like put him in the post, pass it down to him, and let him go to work. Let him get some buckets.
I wish we had that back. I wish betting was legal back then, because then we could just been hammering Zebo first baskets.
First basket.
Yeah, just
so the offense will start to flow once Zebo got into his rhythm, right? And that's where I feel like with the Tigers right now, because they're playing literally with Musa on the floor, it's kind of like a 4-on-5 type of situation offensively. They have to get their rhythm by three-pointers or by on-ball screens or with guys that aren't really threats. And I just would love to see Dane in that game, first 4 possessions, just boom, down to him, boom, down to him, boom, down to him. Just get him some – I don't care if he makes 1 out of 4. Just get him in that rhythm to start playing.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we talked about this preseason. The same thing. That it was always going to be his hands. He's always a defender. You're not going to be able to rely on him offensively, right? This is all the same stuff we said preseason. And I guess that's what's frustrating about it all, honestly. And I know we're talking about a 2-loss team, but it is a lot of the same mistakes that we see year after year after year. It's the overhelping, not covering the corner 3. That's consistent. You could go back and find someone saying that same comment in 2019 about a penny team. Overhelping on defense, leaving a guy wide open. I'm confident we could go back and find that text, right? So it's just frustrating to me that you had the same thing, and it's whatever, right? I mean, Arkansas State, that's a horrible loss for your schedule. Was that a quad 4? Yeah,
they're quad 3 because
it'll be a quad 3 now.
It'll be a quad 3 now. It is literally they jumped 43 spots after beating us. They are comfortably quad 3 for the foreseeable future, as long as they stop losing to Hofstra and Rice.
And more than likely, Arkansas State will be in the NCAA tournament because they're probably going to win their league this year. So
that's what I went through my overreaction. I was going to have a more down to earth. I've seen people tweeting and saying that this is the worst loss in program history, which is laughable. God. It's not even remotely close.
They lost to 40 by Tulsa.
I mean, even so, yes, it was Arkansas State's first ranked win since 33 years ago. So what, 91? The first time we'd lost to them since 91, I think. The biggest win in their program's history.
That's crazy.
They had dudes having career nights against us, which I feel like happens all the time. But all of that, and even it being technically a quad 4 game when we played it, the quad 3 loss now. The reality is, I mean, they're borderline top 100 metrically in KenPom. They are projected to win the Sun Belt. If they do, they're going to be a tournament team. Right now, there's a lot of bracketologists that have them in there as like a 12, 13 seed as the Sun Belt representative. Like, it's not the worst loss that we've ever had before. It feels that way. There's a little bit of, I think anytime you lose to your little brother, it feels like the worst loss that's ever happened.
Yeah,
right?
It should suck like that. It sucks it sucked to have them going Arkansas State Red Wolves in the FedEx Forum. That sucked. Like, number one, that's a clunky cheer. Like, y'all need to figure that out. Like, that doesn't work very well. But man,
they should yell like
it did.
Go Indians or something like that. You know.
They used to be able to do that.
But
gets
that
it.
clearly
Look,
was not the worst loss of the Tiger.
And I'll say
like
our buddy, longtime listener, he's never called in, but he's a longtime listener, fan of the program. Jonathan said it yesterday. I think he put it in Discord too. Like, if this is the worst loss of the season, then
Hell
I'll
yeah.
sign me up right now because we
Hell yeah.
ended up with a damn good season.
That means that we didn't lose in the AAC.
Right.
No,
Right.
Let me
I
ask
mean,
you this. Let me ask you
I
this.
think there's two teams in the AAC that are better than them, and it's probably FAU and North Texas right now.
I mean,
Maybe
FAU
and Wichita State, maybe.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Like, if you put them in the AAC right now, where would they rank? You
I
think?
think they would be like fourth by the
next to
computer.
UAB.
No,
No,
they're
UAB is
actually
terrible.
that is something to watch. They play UAB on Sunday, so
They're going to
it's-
smoke
and it's at
UAB.
Now,
well, I would hope
that's-
so, but they
no.
lost to Rice and they lost to Hofstra.
They're going to.
I was like, let's look at their schedule, dude. There's teams that they should have smoked before and they already lost. So
If that team,
it's how it's
that
written,
played
dude.
Memphis, if that team that played Memphis comes out and plays UAB, they're going to smoke UAB.
We'll go back. They didn't do anything great. I mean, let's go back. It's not that
They shot the
Arkansas State.
freaking lights off.
No, they didn't. They
really.
shot
No, they
30%.
Dude,
The fact is, Memphis couldn't get out of their damn way. That's why you lost the game. Memphis
No, I
beat
don't
Memphis,
disagree.
not Arkansas State. I mean,
we turned
you
it over
never
20
even
times.
leading.
Tyrese had 4 points.
yeah, that's
Colby
rough.
had 11 on 4 of 14 shooting. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's not
why we
good.
lost. PJ showed up 29, 3, 2 assists, 4 steals. We already talked about Dane, 16 and 12. Like, it was turning the ball over, not making free throws. We shot 67% from free throw, which is, I think, our worst percentage all year long.
Gotta be.
I mean, it was just silly stuff.
Well, it's because Dane had most of. How many free throws did Dane take?
Yeah, he shot 14.
He had a lot.
Yeah, he and PJ combined almost shot 30 free throws. So
They are. Bart Torvik has Arkansas State a +1 against UAB.
yeah, I think that Ken Palm has them a
pretty
1
close.
point win on the road at UAB as well. All that to say, though, it's not, at the end of the day, it's not the worst loss we've ever taken. It's not even the worst loss in the last calendar year. Like, the Rice loss last year was worse. And come March, yes, it will likely stay a quad 3 loss, and that's simply because it was a home game. I don't think that they'll be able to get to a top 75 in the net. I mean, maybe if they go and win out somehow and they're just crushing teams in the Sun Belt, they could get there. But it's not, this quad 3 loss is not the same as other, like, the committee's not just looking at the net and looking, oh, they have a quad 3 loss. They're going to see that it was Arkansas State, who's a tournament team that won the Sun Belt. They're a 13 seed. Like, it won't be the end of the world. It's not going to knock us a seed line or anything. I think that's all dependent on what we're doing from here on out, which moves into this week and a huge 2-week opportunity here. You go to Clemson. That's a quad 1A opportunity. I mean, we're going to see what this team's made of. I think they're going to play well because we tend to do that. We play very well against Power 5 teams in these big matchups, and we play down to competition at times when we shouldn't. But we'll see if they have a bounce back.
And I
We'll
think
see what this team's made of.
I think for me, like I really do think that this team is a team of dogs, guys that they were embarrassed by what happened out there. Like that, as much as frustrating as it is for us as longtime Tiger fans to hear another team and a coach on the sideline going, "Where you going?" You know, that kind of stuff. That shit hurts. But they were pissed off too. You know what I'm saying? They were pissed off too. And so I think I think there might be a level of focus there that will be good.
Because I don't think it's going to be a real easy environment. I know we talked about this weeks ago. It is absurd to me that this game is at 10 a.m. local time. I mean, I did not even know that was legal. ESPN gives Clemson a 75% chance to win. They just beat Kentucky at home. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they beat Kentucky? Wow.
I think they did last week. Yeah, they beat Kentucky by 4 and then beat Miami this weekend, who's not actually very good.
By the way, I really like that Kentucky team. Not to totally change the subject, but I like them.
Yeah, They're a good ball club. Got that big win in Seattle versus Gonzaga this weekend. Clemson 9-1. They are currently, what are they ranked currently? 16th in the AP poll. So they replaced us. We dropped out of the AP poll. I don't know what the line will be. KenPom, it was at one point like Clemson by 1 or 2. It is now a 7-point game on KenPom. They are 19th. He's also giving us a 25% chance to win.
That's a tough environment. I think that'll actually be a tougher game than maybe some would realize. Like I know they're 16th in the nation now, but
yeah, I
Well,
mean,
You think anybody's like overlooking Clemson?
is your question
on our-
like from
our
a
team?
Memphis standpoint or like nationally?
Like Tiger, like you said that
no,
it's
I
going to
don't
be a
think so.
tougher game. I don't think anybody thinks it's going to be an easy game, do they? Like Tiger
No, but I mean-
fans, anybody like
I think TJ just means this is probably going to be the toughest environment they've played in to date.
Yeah,
by far.
for sure.
okay.
I mean, if it's anything
It's-
close to what it was for that Kentucky game last week, it's going to be next level.
Yeah, they're
I
tough.
haven't faced anything like that since. They still got that dorky Shefflin dude.
Who's rebounding the hell out of the ball?
He's
by the way.
averaging 12 and a half. He had 20 boards the other night. He also was 4 of 20 from the field, so not necessarily worried about him offensively, but he is averaging 12 and a half and 12 and a half and 3.5 assists. He's kind of a do-it-all for them. Yeah, had a big night against Kentucky with 11 points, 20 boards. He's getting his rebound. If you could bet on player props in Tennessee, his rebound total would probably be like 12 and a half. That kid gets the ball. So, we'll see. I think Penny said tonight that he thinks his team can bounce back. Absolutely is capable of going into Clemson and pulling out a dub. I know there's been a lot of early comparisons to what happened last year, but let's let it play out before we make any.
Do y'all think it's a little bit too early to have those discussions?
Let's see how Saturday goes.
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, how that game goes. If you get smacked in the mouth again, then I'm a little worried. But if you keep it close or you win, I mean, I think it completely erases the loss to Arkansas State, right?
I don't
mean,
think they have
no
to.
one's
I
really
don't
gonna
think they
care.
have to. Yeah, I wouldn't call. I mean, it would help tremendously to go into Clemson and win.
Mhm.
But I think if you just go out there and you look good, it's a good game, and you lose a close one, there's nothing. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Go beat Virginia, win 2 home games, and you're right back where you need to be. AP
Look,
poll.
can I ask y'all a question before we move on from that? Just one question, and I want to get y'all's opinion.
I have a question for you. No matter what your question is, I have a question for you, Kenny. I gotta ask you something. But you ask
Okay.
your question first because it may be what you're about to ask me.
Do y'all think that the reactionary, the oh my gosh, last year, oh my gosh, Penny, oh my gosh, like to me, that feels like emotionally immature for Tiger fans to continuously do that. Is that unfair of me, or is that like to me? It feels like at some point, Tiger fans need to get better at reacting to losses. Like losses happen, right? Like, was anybody expecting this team to, to go undefeated in this non-conference schedule? Like, I get it's Arkansas State, but these kinds of things happen, and my question is this: is it an emotionally immature response to consistently go from this team is great to all of a sudden fire Penny? This is last year. This is his history. This is his tenure. To me, it just feels emotionally immature. Am I wrong on that?
If it was just one lot, like if that had happened after the Auburn game, yeah. But I don't think it's. I think you've got to take everything into account, right? This isn't like a one-off. This is something that continuously happens every year, and people are getting a little bit of PTSD from it, right? Last year you had the 15-2 start. and then you come out and you lose 4 games straight to all inferior teams. The year prior didn't necessarily really happen, except I guess you lost 2 of 3 when you lost like that away Tulane game and then UCF. The year before that, you had a very similar stretch where you felt like you started the season strong. You got a good quality win against Virginia Tech, and then you lost 4 straight, 2 of which were to far inferior teams in Georgia and Ole Miss. And then you had another 3-game losing streak to inferior teams in East Carolina, USF, and SMU. So I think it's just a culmination of, it seems like this kind of stuff happens. It's not just like a one loss. And I think it's also the way that yesterday happened, right? Again, to TJ and I's point, it wasn't like Arkansas State came out and just shot the cover off the ball and shot 60% from the field and 50% from 3. I mean, they literally shot, what was it, 36% from the field and 33% from 3. Like, that's not mind-blowing numbers. It's not like they just came out and made ridiculous shot after ridiculous shot and beat us. We were leaving guys open, they hit timely shots, and you got blown out on your, I mean, the game was never close, to be honest. Like, I think that's what's playing a part. And I think if you hadn't had those previous losing streaks or moments where you're losing to teams as a double-digit favorite prior, and I think it gets amplified because any loss for us is magnified greatly because it impacts our resume so much. We have no opportunity. Like, if we played in the Big 12 and we just lost Arkansas State, it's not that big of a deal because literally every other night in conference play is a quad 1 or quad 2 opportunity.
Yeah.
But if you look currently where we're at with the net rankings and what our schedule looks like, do you guys know how many, guess how many quad 3 and quad 4 games we will play this year as of today?
How many we will play?
Yes, total. 20.
10. Yeah, 10. I was doing the math at every Tulsa game.
We are literally projected to play 20 quad 3 and 4 games. So, like, I think all of that plays a role. And I don't think it's just one loss, get it with or penny. I think it's everything that's happened, right? It's a culmination of seeing these losing streaks before. It feels very similar. It feels like the same things are happening. So we'll see. I mean, you come out in these next 2 weeks, you go even 3-1, and I think it's water under the bridge. Nobody's thinking about Arkansas State anymore.
Yeah, Trey hit it exactly what I was going to say. I think it's the fact that you lost Arkansas State heading into the gauntlet of Clemson, Virginia Tech, State, and then Ole Miss, or maybe it's Ole Miss then State, whatever that is. That's 4 tough games, man, and you have a good chance of going 1-4, 0-4 in that series. Hopefully, you go 3-1. But dropping one before then is not ideal. And as Trey said, like we have this a decent sample size at Penny for 7 years of dropping a game that you have no business losing, be it a Tulane, be it a Tulsa. They may have even gotten swept by Tulsa at one point, right? So it's just little things like that. You're just like, they just can't get out of their way. Like, why can we ever seem to get out of our own way, you know? And I think we hold ourselves to this higher standard as a program, but we don't have that. You know, Houston holds itself to a higher program. They're not losing to Elon, right? They're not losing to Mercer. That's a bad example because those aren't programs that are likely going to win their conference. But you get my point. Memphis has no business losing to Arkansas State. So I think that's why people are frustrated. And this is exactly the question I was going to follow up with you is, who hurt you on Twitter? I saw your post about the 14 ranked teams lost. Why are we only talking about Memphis and Penny? It's because we're Memphis fans, baby. We're in Memphis. So we're not going to talk about
Newsflash, Kenny. This show is called Tigers Untapped, not NCAA basketball.
No,
Untapped.
I wasn't talking about specifically.
He's not talking about us. I know.
I know.
I wasn't talking about y'all.
He said we. But it's just because they're Memphis fans. I mean, they don't care about any of the other teams losing. Like,
yeah, I just think following.
Well,
it's
no,
blasted Memphis nonstop.
I mean, well, a lot. I mean, Jeff Goodman came out and blasted Memphis. Bunch of
Jeff Goodman always.
Like, I'm just saying,
it
happens. Like, it happens. There's media members members in the city of Memphis that literally will not say a word about Penny Hardaway or the Tigers in a good way until they lose a game. And then it turns around and they come out and they say stuff. And it's just like, okay, I get it. Like people have their axe to grind. They have their, whatever feelings they have towards, Penny Hardaway as a person. And I just go, it just doesn't. I think what really triggered me, honestly, was Kansas has lost twice this week. They lost 2 games in a row. And I actually went and researched it, and I saw what how Bill Self responded to it. I saw how some the media questions around those 2 losses were. Like, I saw those things. And I just go, I am ready for the day that Memphis media and Memphis fans can respond to, yes, critique the game. The game was terrible. That's why you didn't see me try to whitewash that game and say, no, they played great. They played great. They just got beat. They didn't play well. They played horribly. But it's more so the overreaction to the status of the program and the quality of Penny Hardaway or as a head coach. That's the part that it's that overreaction that I just go, we have got to be more emotionally mature about how we handle these things, because I get it. And I know everybody's going to come back in the comments and say, well, we're not Kansas. We haven't won a championship. We're not this. I get that. I understand that. But even Kelvin Sampson, you mentioned Houston a few minutes ago. He comes out and he says, non-conference is about testing my team. And he said, my team, and I get it. We're not Houston. We don't play in the Big 12. So we're not, getting those kind of that kind of rub in terms of conference play. But he's like, I don't care about wins and losses in that non-conference. I want to test my team and see where we're at. And I go, I appreciate that, because there are, like, I'm a big fan of like trying to figure out, like, learning, taking things from games like this and going, okay, how can we fix that, instead of just blah, like, why, like, oh my gosh, this season's over. I get it. Memphis is in a different position because of their conference, because they're going to play 20 quad 3, quad 4 games. I get that. I know it's a different scenario. We're not Houston. We're not Kansas. I get that schedule says all that. I've appreciated seeing the reactions from those fans than I have more so Tiger fans about this loss. That's my only point.
How long have you been working in media, would you say?
I mean, 7 years. No, 6 years.
Probably even longer than that, dude. How the sensationalism of negative news will always do better than the good stuff. I think that's just something you have to kind of write off and ignore. When the moment Penny does something bad, or not even Penny, anything happens, right? The I don't want to get political, but the CEO that was shot, you're more than likely going to hear more about that on several different news channels than you ever are something good happening, right? It's just those types of articles and things do well. They're easier to talk about. So when you have a Jeff Goodman putting out an article about something bad happening, people want to read that. They want to read that more than Penny just won his career 200 game, or whatever. I'm just making up numbers and stats now, but
Also, just
it's always going to
hated.
be that way.
Yeah.
Like,
I just think
in
it's
college
lazy.
basketball world, we're hated, and so that gets
I do
gets
think it's-
interaction. He gets interaction from Memphis fans being pissed off, and he gets interactions from others that love us to fail.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, people nationally do not. I'm not. This is not an exaggeration at all. Like, they do not like Penny Hardaway as a coach. That's just serious. Like,
they've never
don't-
liked. I mean, they never.
I know.
have. Yeah.
And I think it's because he didn't pay his dues or whatever to get a head coaching position. But I mean, there's countless notable Twitter accounts, YouTubers, whoever that are in media that follow college basketball closely that have very rarely anything positive to say about anything that Penny Hardaway or Penny Hardaway coach team. It's all negative stuff. It's just, and other fan bases thrive on it.
I don't give a shit about the national media. I don't care what they have to say about anything. I care. Like, I just wish Memphis fans and Memphis media would be better at it. I think that in terms of the reaction of it, I just wish that they would be better. But that's that's what makes Memphis beautiful, right? Like we overreact to things. It makes us who we are. But I just,
Is it
I mean,
proactive or reactive? We'll find
we'll
out.
also
in
be able to come back
5
in March
weeks.
and say for certain if this loss to Arkansas
Mhm.
State was overreacting or not. Because again, if we played in the Big 12 or if we played in the SEC, whatever, and we had those opportunities, this one loss wouldn't mean you can make up for it easily. That's where this is coming from. Like, we literally cannot afford to lose those types of games. So it also comes back to, like, I get that we kind of have to build up this out of conference schedule and get our quality wins there. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like Arkansas State's kind of a team and they're on that fringe of, like,
they're
even
pretty
if
good.
they are, like, they're good enough that they could beat you and it hurts you a lot, but they're bad enough and not historically
Yeah.
successful enough that
Beating them doesn't
winning
move the needle.
winning really
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, that's tough. And that's
Like in the long run, if you'd come out, you'd blown them out and they win the Sun Belt and they're a tournament team, yeah, in March you can point to it and be like, hey, there's another tournament caliber team that's in our win column.
let me ask you this. Does Missouri beating Kansas on the same day that Memphis lost to Arkansas State kind of even out the loss to Arkansas State with what that Missouri win's going to end up being at the end of the year?
I mean, I think it certainly
Mm.
helps, but that's also what's so frustrating about it is, like, these teams that we've already beaten
Have gone on and
are
done good. UConn.
they're all on the hot streak. Like, UConn's
That's
winning.
fine. It's better than the
Missouri,
other. That's
I
what we
know.
had previously.
Last year
Missouri's
was worse, right?
Michigan
Yes.
State's ranked and winning by a lot in the Big Ten so far. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we also still have like a top 15 strength of record. We're 10th in the country and wins above the bubble. Like, we still have a very good resume. So from that standpoint, yesterday's loss doesn't hurt you that bad as long as you continue to go out, and especially if you're able to go 3-1, 4-0, even 2-2, honestly, in the next month, and then you can roll through the American, you'll be fine.
Hmm.
So we'll see. Very quickly, since we didn't touch on the net yet, we've talked a little bit about the quads. But we did have a bit of a fall. We've talked about Arkansas State's leap. We were 32, I think, before yesterday's game. And we dropped down to we were 31. We fell 17 spots to 48th.
Both.
So nothing some winning can't fix, but it's also, we probably have one of the weirdest resumes current. We are 3-1 in quad 1.
Yeah.
But we have a quad 3 loss. So I think, do we have one quad 2 win? Yeah, I think
yes, you do.
I think we're 4-1 in quads 1 and 2,
Missouri.
but we have a quad 3 loss.
Is San Fran a Q1 or is Q2?
They're Q1, right? They are right on the line. They are 50th
Mhm.
in the net, which makes them a quad 1. Which does kind of suck because if it was technically a San Fran home game, they would be very comfortably quad 1. But it's going to be one that every day it could flip back and forth between quad 1 and 2. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that you're projected to finish 2-2 in quad 1 games. What?
Who, us?
Can't be right. Oh, I bet that means quad 1 away games. Yeah, Memphis is expected to finish 4-2 with quad 1 games, 5-2 in quad 2, 12-3 in quad 3, and 3-0 in quad 4.
What are you looking at?
Our friend Totally T-Bomb at Bart Torvik.
Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds. I mean, right now, Mississippi State is quad 1 at home and Ole Miss is quad 2 at 33. I would be surprised if State stays a quad 1 the entire season and come Selection Sunday. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's the name of the game. We'll see.
But with that, we'll take a break. When we come back, we've had signing day. The portal is open, and we had several first team All AAC Tigers. So bring your soul. We'll be right back.
Do I love that he's playing like this? No, but a good thing about our team that we have a Sunshine Dunn, we have a Marcus Smart, we have all these guys that can make up for when one of our star guys isn't playing well. People have to understand, once you come off an injury, you have to get back into a rhythm, and he's just slowly getting back to his rhythm. But he's still playing good defense. He's still doing the little things on the floor. He's still rotating properly. He's still in his position. He's just missing shots.
Take it from me as a person that has back pain. I don't know what the degree is with this. It's most stuff I can do without too much pain. But if you're talking about oblique, I mean, think about it. That's up here, bro. And he's a shooter. It could be in his head.
Because the type of guy Desmond is, very level-headed, very headstrong, very self-disciplined, he's going to be fine. So
tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Nate, are you alive? Nate.
Oh, sorry. It took me a second to find the phone. Dog. I don't understand the NBA. Jesus H, dude. You've got to be able to hold these guys accountable. You consistently see ego stuff. That was an ego throwing John Moran out of the game after a horrible call.
I
Brother,
agree.
it's abysmal, and it affects things. By the way, if your sponsor is freaking FanDuel and you got people gambling on these games left and right, your refs can't suck ass.
Tune in to the Grizz 901 postgame show, live after every Grizzlies game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Dirty. Fellas, we racked up some first team All AAC football with wide receiver Rock Taylor, Xavier Hill, Anthony Landfear, Mario Anderson Jr., William Whitlow Jr., Chandler Martin, and Davion Ross making up your first team All AAC. Any names that stand out that didn't make that list for you fellas?
I don't think
No?
so. I think
No.
we got it right.
Can I be
Not
honest? I'm
not
kinda
third
surprised.
team All AAC quarterback Seth Hennigan.
No.
I have no problem with it.
No.
Oh, I don't have a problem with it either. Just surprised me that
Is anybody else surprised that? God, it's gonna sound because he's the nicest guy in the world. Is it anybody else surprised that Anthony Landseer made
I
first team?
was thinking that a little
Yeah.
bit. Like
The Tulane tight ends
it kind of
shocked
threw
me.
me
Or
off.
UTSA, not Tulane, excuse me.
Like phenomenal dude, like one of the nicest guys on the entire football team. But what?
And
Okay.
it caught me off. It caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting Anthony to be the first tight end.
Not at
I thought Brendan
33
Doyle had a better year.
receptions. Yeah, we're talking 33 receptions, 379 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's 2.8 receptions a game, and 32 yards a game. I don't know.
I don't know.
Congrats.
What do you want?
Congrats to him.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, shit.
I was thinking the Tulane tight end had a chance. I mean, he only had 18 receptions, but 7 touchdowns and 18 receptions. Now under 200 yards, so maybe the competition was a little low there.
Sounds like the like I for instance, when I was a junior in high school, I tried out for all West Tennessee band and made
Mm.
first chair blue band and bass clarinet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Oh, yeah.
skin.
Huh?
What
Fir-
you said?
first
You said what instrument?
bass clarinet. And I think honestly it was because there was just a lack of the
Anyone
depth in
playing the
that
bass
position
clarinet?
was not. I think I might have been one of one. So,
Nice.
You still play?
dude, my embouchure is crazy, bro. Only band geeks understand what I just said.
I have no idea what you said, but you
Exactly.
ever go to band camp?
Don't answer that, Kenny.
I went to
Video?
band camp one time and got Bell's palsy in the side of my face. You guys ever noticed sometimes when I'm tired, like I laugh and my right side of my face doesn't move? Yeah.
No.
Can't
Why did
say
that
that,
happen?
but I do.
Did you get like an infection or something? Oh, the Cowboys just blocked a punt.
So anyway, not to make this about my accolades as a bass clarinetist, but I kind of wonder if maybe that
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you guys seeing this?
No, we're paying attention to
we're
the
paying
podcast.
attention to the podcast right
Okay.
now.
Well, it's 20-20, the Bengals and the Cowboys. The Cowboys just blocked a punt with like a minute 50 left, but the punt went across the line of scrimmage and then the Bengals recovered it, so it's a first down for the Bengals. Is that
Yeah.
not the most unfortunate thing ever?
Yeah.
Super.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, I just congrats to Anthony Lansford.
Yeah. So shout out to those Tigs getting first team, third team. I think it was Gamble and Trent Holler. They got third team along with Seth. TJ, we had signing day.
We did.
Kenny, did you happen to see where our class ended up?
59th? 59th?
Very close.
59th.
Very close. Both in 247 and Rivals. 55th overall.
What about on 3?
I don't know. I don't deal with on 3.
Yeah, that's a tough
I'll look
one.
at it right. I'll look at it right quick. But TJ, give us the highlights really quickly while I look this up of the class.
Yeah.
Number one
easy ones
G5 class.
Easy thing to point out is Antoine Hill, obviously the 4-star out of Georgia. Xavier Johnson is a receiver. He's a 4-star. Xavier Thompson is a high 3-star. He's like right on the cusp of being a 4-star. I think maybe if he had committed somewhere else, he probably would be a 4-star. He'd be upgraded to a 4-star. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, right?
Who is that? Say that again.
Xavier Thompson. He is right on the cusp.
He is a 4-star on 247, I think it is, but a 3 on Rivals. Is that right?
No, I think that's backwards. And even if you look at him on 247,
Well, you're saying Thompson. Sorry, Xavier Johnson is a 4-star.
He is a 4-star.
On. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things where it feels like if he committed elsewhere, they're like, you know what, maybe he is a 4-star. Maybe he'll have some, I don't know, whatever. That's the Memphis curse there. A lot of it was D-line, O-line, just trying to fill in some gaps. Obviously, they're going to hit the transfer portal pretty hard in both positions this year. So you don't want to overcommit all your scholarships to those positions. You'd rather have the older guys kind of come in. If we're looking at guys that could potentially help you out ASAP, Bryce Anderson, 6'5", 235 at tight end position. He's coming out of Iowa Central. That gives you another big body because you don't have a ton of big bodies at tight end right now. Brennan Doyle, I think technically has another year. Chisholm, more of like a fullback, H-back type of role. And then Christian Ross is more of a Sean Dykes, a big, talented wide receiver, more so than an actual tight end, someone that's athletic that you're kind of just putting out of position more or less. And that's really about it at the tight end position. So bringing in a guy like Bryce Anderson at that size, I think we'll see him probably chip in some playing time pretty quickly.
58th on 3. Still number one G5 class, though. First in the AAC. What's that puzzled look for?
Your camera went dark, went black for a second.
It did for a little second there.
Zero Dark 30, baby. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Heck of a
Oh, I guess I
classic
left-
together.
I guess I left out Shannon Blair. I think that's another guy that I think could probably get some good playing time early on. He's got snaps
Yeah.
under his belt at the collegiate level.
Simeon's
But he's
brother.
not related to.
No, it's
former
Simeon's
Simeon.
best.
Is it?
I just looked on Ancestry.com and it said that they were related.
I think he's lying, TJ.
Yeah, Shannon Blair is from Knoxville, and Simeon is from Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Because cousins have to be from the same state. What are you talking about?
This dude's
TJ?
just making stuff up. Don't even listen to him. They're not related.
Oh, gosh, this
Not-
isn't Alabama.
If they are related, it's unbeknownst to me. I'll say that.
Well, why don't you DM him, slip in the DMs, and ask him if Simmons
I don't
is
need to, dude.
best?
I don't
Fine.
need to.
All
But
right,
it is nice that we get a Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium joke again. No, we can't do that with Simeon,
we
not
don't.
Shannon.
His name is yeah. Okay.
Nice effort.
With signing day behind us, the portal
Whew.
is finally officially open, whatever the heck that means, because people enter it whenever the hell they want. It's open till the 28th, I think. Why are you smirking like that? That is facts. People enter whenever the hell they want.
Yeah, they do.
Open till the 28th. So we got what, 3 weeks of portalness?
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, what do we need to hit hard in the portal in order to be in the running for the top G5 team again next year, or to be the
Yes.
favorite in the American?
Yes.
Number one is quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the obvious one, right? No one, and that's not to say Antoine Hill can't do it, or there's not a quarterback on the roster that can't do it. It's just you'd feel better about having 4 scholarship quarterbacks, and Silverfield's very clear about having 4 scholarship guys. You want a quarterback that can really come in, has snaps under his belt, has shown to be successful at the collegiate level. He can do whatever you want with this next season. He can get you to playoff. He can get you 10 wins, whatever your goal is. Hopefully, it's the conference championship at least. And then that's a segue for the next guy who's going to be your 3-4 year starter from there on out, right? I think that's the ideal plan.
Ryan he poo-pooed the idea of Antoine coming in and starting immediately. He was like, you don't want freshmen to do that.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
When it doesn't happen that often, right?
Yeah.
It would be mind-blowing if we had it happen with 2 quarterbacks in a row.
For sure. Yeah, it's not very common by any means. So it just, I know a lot of people say that he could do it. He's a freak athlete. He's not coming here to sit on the bench, but I can assure you they sold him on, you're going to come here and you're going to have to compete for the job. And there's just not a high chance he's going to win that job. Nothing against him. It's just a hard thing to do, right?
Our boy Chandler Morris entered the portal today, along with his good and serviceable wide receiver, DT Sheffield.
Yeah.
Could we get a little bit of a Memphis Mean Green going? No, I think DT's probably looking for quite a bit of NIL.
Yeah, I can assure you he's looking for quite a bit of NIL. And you also get the Chandler Morris. I mean, he's too young. I don't think you want to go that route, right? I mean, I think he's got 2 more years left. Is that right? Maybe not. Maybe I made that up. Maybe it's just 1 year. If it's 1 year, maybe you're onto something, but I think it's 2.
I think he was listed as a junior this year, so I think he only has 1.
Okay. Well, yeah. He fits the mold of someone you're looking for. A TJ Finley, a Cade McNamara, Chandler
Caden
Morris.
Salter.
EJ Warner.
I don't think EJ's on the move.
Yeah.
He'd be fine.
He is on the move.
He is.
He's in the transfer portal.
Are we getting to a point where it's just ridiculous that you can enter the transfer portal every year?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean,
dude.
it's not
silly.
even.
It's silly.
It doesn't even. It's ridiculous.
Due to the scheme and philosophy change, I'll be entering the transfer portal. Good Lord.
And then his father, Kurt Warner, came out and said if he was 1 inch or 2 inch taller, he'd be one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
I'll tell you, 1 to 2 inches is a lot.
It's true.
Is that a lot?
How tall is EJ?
6. I mean, they're gonna say he's 6 foot, but
He ain't no taller than 5'8". It's TJ's height.
Okay. I'm taller than 5'8".
Uh,
100% I am taller than 5'8". No, EJ's fine, dude. I mean, you're looking at he's had some.
No, we are not getting EJ Warner.
No. I'm not
don't
saying
even.
that. No.
Okay.
I was
Don't
going
even-
back to Kenny's points about a point about him being, if he was 2 inches taller, he'd be a top quarterback, and I don't think that's true. But I mean, he's fine. He doesn't really have any weapons around him, for the most part.
Well, we should stop talking about him because we're putting it out into the atmosphere, and it doesn't need to be out there.
No,
yeah, I'm joking, Tiger fans. I don't think EJ Warner's on the.
TJ, are there any names that you have that people should keep an eye out on? I saw you sent some about a Nebraska wide receiver earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had some conversation with Memphis. Malachi Coleman hasn't really done anything, right? He's just a freshman, but 6'5" body. Give me a big 6'5" receiver all day, every day, baby. Give me that all day, every day. Receiver is definitely a position I think that they need to go after. Yeah, speed, big body guy. I mean, I think we've been missing. We will be missing, right? We went from having, before Rock, I guess Rock was been your possession receiver. Before Rock, you had, why am I going blank on his name? He blocked me.
Javon Ivory?
No, Ivory's been a big letdown.
No,
Coxie.
Thank you. Yeah. You had Coxie on the outside, so you had a big catch radius.
X.
Do
Did
I?
you know that, Kenny? I was just saying Coxie blocked you on X. I didn't know if
He blocked you on it. What?
Yeah.
Bro.
I will say it was self-inflicted. I did.
Who's the most random block that you have on Twitter?
I got unblocked recently.
Nice.
So yeah, I got unblocked by the Tiger guy. So I appreciate that.
Let's go, Scott.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody.
Reggie Miller is mine.
Really?
Oh, I was blocked by 92.9 ESPN for like 6 years, and I have no clue why. It wasn't until like 6 months ago they unblocked me.
I need to figure out how to find out who blocked you, and I can get back with you on this. I don't know. Yeah, no real names out, Trey, to answer your question 5 minutes later. It's so early on, man. It's day one. I think that people are slowly kind of pumping their names through. There's probably been so many entries that no one has time to even sort through them all, honestly, right? So Memphis has had guys hit the portal what feels like all off season anyhow. So we're going to see some names kind of pump through slowly but surely, kind of get out there, right? I think we've only had 2 names so far. Not Ole Miss problems blocked you. Okay.
Yeah. I had a tweet that blew up. That is in response to one of their dumbass tweets. They blocked me for it because it just kept getting so much love. I think that's the only account I've ever been blocked by. All right. Well, it's just opened. I mean, literally hours ago. Yeah. So over the next 3 weeks, we'll keep track of it. I'm excited to start seeing what we get committing here, and what pieces we're able to. I think quarterback, wide receivers, and give me some DBs, and let's rock and roll.
D-line. I think it's a good
D-line.
I could use some D-line bodies. O-line, D-line, wide receiver.
I saw I think there's a Liberty O-lineman that's visiting maybe next Monday, a week from today.
Was it O-lineman or D-lineman?
D-lineman.
Yeah, I think it was a D-lineman.
Bryce, did you say O-line or D-line? That
you said O-line. But yes, both. We need both.
Bryce Dixon.
I see that.
6'4". No. I don't know how big he is. Big dude. Wears 99. 77 tackles, 10 TFLs, 2 forced fumbles over his last couple of years playing at Liberty.
Okay.
May not be a bad piece. Something to keep an eye out on. Portal's open. It's active. It's the best time of year. Portal season.
Give me a dude off the edge. That's what I want. If we're being real honest, just give me a dude tearing off the edge. Give me the closest to Bryce Huff as you can.
I was
get
gonna
me. That's what
say
you
the
need.
next Bryce Huff.
Man,
Need
Bryce.
Bryce.
Give me a Jannard Avery. Actually, we kind of have a Jannard Avery now, but
Who's
give me
Chandler
that
coming
dog.
back? I mean, I'm assuming that's what you're referencing.
What is
No, I'm
this?
just kidding. No, I was just kidding. Yeah,
Uh,
never say never. Who
we'll
knows?
see.
Never say never.
I think the NIL's there if he wants it. We hadn't even mentioned it, but the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl
Let's
is
go.
invited to University of Memphis Tigers. We will be playing 6-6, recently fired head coach Neil Brown's West Virginia Mountaineers. I think it opened up at West Virginia minus 3.5. I don't know if you guys have looked at the line today.
Mm-mm.
It is now Memphis minus 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's flipped over into our favor. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll have opt-outs or not, but we'll preview that next week because I think it's next Tuesday night. The ball game is right, the 18th.
Sounds right.
Is it? No, that would be Wednesday. No, it's the 17th. Yeah, next Tuesday at 8, I think. So, interesting matchup. You got a Big 12 opponent. See how you match up against a. What did they finish in the Big 12?
They're
Stank.
like a 6-win
They-
team. They had
They were
some
6 and
hope
6,
for a
but
second there.
I don't know what was their conference record.
I'm trying to find these bowl tickets, my boy.
What
I remember looking at the tickets for the bowl weren't that expensive at one point.
are you going?
Maybe.
They finished 5 and 4 in the Big 12, literally dead center of the Big 12.
Hmm.
They finished 9th, tied with
Am I going
Kansas
crazy
State.
on the tickets here?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I cannot find the tickets. I'm going to gotigersgo.com.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have had to have responded to an email or something.
What y'all think about the AAC final or AAC championship game?
Didn't watch
Whatever,
a
dude.
second of it. I was at a Christmas party. I'll just say this. I don't know if Pittman listens to this program, but him saying Memphis had no shot whatsoever against Army is a freaking joke. We'd have beat Army's ass.
I don't think we would have won, but I don't know to say no shot. I don't know about no shot.
It is what it is. I don't know. I also feel like Tulane kind of quit. They didn't have anything to play for, and they thought their coach was leaving, and he thought he was leaving until North Carolina came back and was like, yeah, we're not giving you all that. Sorry. See ya. And now he's staying, and now their quarterback's in the portal.
Tough business.
Yes, that is a real wild thing.
I mean, when Darian Menza got in the portal, it was like almost certainty that Summerall was leaving, right? Like he was gone.
Yeah.
Like that was the reason why. And now Summerall's back, and he's like, "Damn it, come on back."
I mean, I guess he could always pull out of the portal.
I guess he could.
Gotta pull
Guess
out.
he could. All right, Timothy, let's get in this. Bring your soul.
Bring your soul.
We need the
Y'all haven't
Tigers.
talked college football playoffs at all. I know it has nothing to
Because
do
we
with
don't
the
care,
Tigers.
dude. We don't
Memphis
It has
isn't
care.
nothing to
in
do with
it.
the Tigers.
We don't care.
SMU or Alabama.
All talking about it does is make me upset because if we'd have been
We're not
an
there.
11-1 team and then we won the AAC, we could have finished.
You could have gotten a first round bye, like Boise
we
State
would.
did.
We could have been in instead of Clemson.
Crazy.
We could have been the 5th highest rated AAC or the 5th highest rated conference champion, and we'd be in, and Clemson wouldn't.
But SMU, to
I
answer
don't
your question.
know. Yeah, I don't. You can't get blown out by Oklahoma and lose Vandy and expect to be in.
Here's the
I'm
can.
surprised they did it though. I really thought they were going to
So
still
am I.
Alabama.
I'm stunned they did it. I thought for certain it was going to be Bama.
I do think it's also funny that all these SEC people are now like, well, what's the point in scheduling these big time out of conference games? And I'm like, well, Alabama played South Florida, Western Kentucky,
Yeah, what
Mercer,
Alabama?
and
What game are you referring
5-6 Wisconsin team. Like none of it wasn't any of those games that cost them being in the playoff.
Yeah.
They lost
You
3
lost your
SEC
conference
games.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. And 2 to 6-6 teams. Anyway. Bring your soul. I'm a fan of this can, Timothy.
Yeah, it's a good can, man. Very good
This
can.
is one of the better cans we've had in a long, long while. But we've been drinking a lot of like Grind City and Hampline, which have the same can. So it's really good to get a new can in here. You know what this one kind of reminds me of?
What's that?
Is what's the one that I see? I said, you know what it reminds me of, then I can't even think of what it is. The one that has like the marbles all over it.
Vision board?
Yes, Timothy, Vision Board.
And I think that's Crosstown too, I believe.
Doesn't it give you a little bit of Vision Board kind of vibes? It is.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you like that
I see
can?
that.
I do. I
You
like
like
the
it
colors,
better-
man.
You like it better than you like that vape pen?
Nope.
Yeah, it's right here, dude. Look at this. Let's see if you can see this. I can never get my screen to share. I don't know what's going on now. I thought I had it pulled up. Whatever. It is. It's very similar to Vision Board in terms of your colors and things like that. So, yeah, this is a good can, man. Look at this. A good color scheme. Got a lot of color going on there. I like it.
I like the
I think
font too of Bring Your Soul.
I think that's actually kind of hard to read personally. But I'm worried that I'm going to overrate this can. I'm going to overrate this can because all the other cans we've done as of late have been kind of just boring.
Just boring. I feel you there.
But
You
I'm
throw
probably
some
going to give
color on
it
this.
a 7.9.
Yeah, that is high. That is high. That feels good though. 7,
Yeah, I can go back and look at what we. You want to know what we gave Vision Board?
Oh, I think Vision Board was probably in the 8s.
It's been a long time since we've done Vision Board.
Yeah, I mean that was probably 2 years ago.
Fun fact: we did not rate the can when we did Vision Board. That's how long ago that was. We weren't doing can ratings, just beer. That is the last beer that we did only can ratings. Starting right after was Memphis Style Lager. Was the first beer we started rating can.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Goodness
Fun
gracious.
fact.
We might have to do it again so we can rate the can. 7.7 on my can.
7.7, you say?
Yeah. This wasn't dark IPA, but it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't overly hoppy to me, really. I felt like it kind of hit the spot. I don't know that I would go back to back on this thing.
Wow.
But I think a pint of it would have been good. I don't want a full 24 ounces, but give me 16, and I think that's the money spot. It needs to be ice cold as it was. 5.9% alcohol by volume is good.
It's definitely a winter beer. Let's get that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something I'm reaching for after a summer soccer game by any means.
It isn't a dark IPA. This thing is black. This thing is beyond dark. It's the absence of light.
We are boring the hell out of Kenny.
I know, dude. He don't drink beer. The beer was good to me. I think it was a little maltier than I wanted it or to be / expected it to be. So that'll kind of hurt it, but nothing too crazy. I mean, I still over the 7s for me. Maybe like a 7.5. I like
it. I don't think it's that up there. It is good, especially for being a dark IPA for me. I'm going 6.9.
Wow.
6.9 on it.
Okay.
I feel like I need to be drinking it out of a mug, though. I want to see that dark tint, not a can.
Why do you say it like that?
Or maybe even a bottle.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like a baby bottle?
No, like a beer bottle.
Oh. Hey, one thing I wanted to point out, Arizona State covered that -2 that I said last podcast.
Oh, did they?
So I finished. Yeah, they did. They crushed them. Did they not?
Yeah, they did. I don't even remember what my pick was. What was mine?
I don't know. I'm just glad I got one right, Trey.
Damn it. So what'd that bring your season total to?
Like 6-10. I think great. Just getting
It's
by
not
here.
terrible. Kenny, what was my pick last week?
I'm trying to. I was thinking about that.
Were you thinking about it?
While you were
Yeah,
talking
were you
about it,
though?
I was trying to remember. I do not remember.
I'm about to look
Sorry.
at it. Hold on.
And this is a fun fact. If you plan on going to the Frisco Bowl, this is a soccer stadium. This looks like a very fancy high school soccer stadium.
Yeah, no, it's a soccer specific.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm looking at it.
Oh,
I'm looking at the seating.
I took Clemson money line in that hit. Or Clemson
then.
2.5. So I don't know what that put me at total, but I think it's like 13-0 or something. Is that good?
Okay. Seems like a stretch.
He said, "Is that good?"
Oh, did I break it? Oh. Yeah,
Alright,
it's
boys.
a soccer specific stadium. I don't know how many it seats, but it may be sold out, and that's why you can't find the tickets.
No, I found the tickets. I'm on the website. I just couldn't find them through Go Tigers Go. I can find them
Well-
through the Toyota Stadium themselves.
Scott Foreman's going to block you again for not buying tickets to the university. So
I tried, man. I tried. Couldn't get it to work. They're very cheap. These are very affordable seats. You all should definitely go to the
Are
game.
you seriously going?
I kind of want to. Just fly standby. We'll spend probably more on tickets than flying there.
Interesting. Are you taking the family?
No, kids won't come. Drop them off at their grandparents, dude.
Interesting. Well, tune in next week to see if TJ actually buys tickets. Come with a cold beer and stay for our hot takes. We're out of here.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.